Right now, somewhere in the middle of the ocean, there are 50,000 ships moving. They carry your food, your medicine, your phone, your clothes, the fuel in your car, the coffee in your cup this morning. Every single second of every single day, the sea is full of giants, quietly carrying the world on their backs. But what if, just for one day, they all stopped? No disaster, no war, no warning, just silence on the water? What would happen to your grocery store, your hospital, your city? The answer is something most people never think about. And once you hear it, you'll never look at a shipping container the same way again. The machine you never see. Let's start with the size of what we're talking about, because it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. 90% of everything you own was on a ship at some point. 90%. Your smartphone was assembled from parts that crossed at least 3 oceans. The wheat in your bread likely came from another continent. The medicine in your cabinet, probably manufactured in India or China, packed into a container, loaded onto a ship, and sailed halfway around the world before it reached your pharmacy shelf. Right now, as you watch this video, there are roughly 50,000 merchant ships at sea. Together, they carry about 11 billion tons of cargo every single year. Here's a way to picture that. If you stacked all the shipping containers currently in use on top of each other, they would reach the moon twice. And the whole system runs on something terrifyingly simple: just-in-time delivery. That means warehouses don't stockpile months' worth of goods anymore. Stores order exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. There's no buffer, no cushion, no plan B. The shelves are full because the ships never stop. So what happens the moment they do? The first 6 hours. Hour 1. Nothing feels wrong yet. You wake up, make coffee, check your phone. Life is normal. The news hasn't caught up. Most people don't even know. But in the ports, every major port in the world, something strange is happening. The ships aren't moving. They're sitting still on the water like ghosts. Cranes are frozen. Dock workers are getting calls. Managers are on emergency phones. By hour 3, the first ripple hits financial markets. Shipping stocks crater. Oil prices jump. Futures traders start sweating. By hour 6, the factories start to feel it. Manufacturers who rely on components arriving today, not next week, start slowing production lines. A car factory in Germany waiting on microchips from South Korea. A textile plant in Bangladesh waiting on dye from China. A pharmaceutical lab in the United States waiting on raw chemical compounds from India. The dominoes haven't fallen yet, but they're wobbling. By nightfall, the stores. Now let's talk about something closer to home. Your grocery store. The average supermarket carries about 3 days worth of food for its local community. 3 days. That's it. Now 1 day of shipping stopping won't empty the shelves by tonight. But here's what will: panic. The moment word spreads, people will buy. Not because they need to, because they're scared. And when everybody buys at once, 3 days of supply becomes 6 hours of supply. We saw this exact thing happen during COVID. People weren't even facing a real shortage, just the fear of one, and toilet paper disappeared from the face of the earth. Now imagine that fear, but with actual cause. Fresh produce is the first to go. Bananas, avocados, mangoes. These aren't grown locally in most countries. They're on ships right now, bobbing in the ocean, getting riper by the hour. Next comes cooking oil, rice, certain medicines that can't be manufactured locally. Fuel's another story entirely. Most countries keep strategic oil reserves. But those are for emergencies lasting weeks, not days. 1 day of shipping won't trigger that crisis. But 1 day reveals just how thin the rope really is. The part nobody talks about, medicine. This is the part that keeps logistics experts up at night. About 80% of the world's pharmaceutical ingredients are manufactured in just 2 countries, China and India. They're then shipped to factories around the world, turned into pills and treatments, and shipped again to hospitals and pharmacies. 1 day of stopping shipping doesn't run out your hospital's supply of insulin or chemotherapy drugs. Hospitals do keep reserves. But here's the quiet, uncomfortable truth. Those reserves aren't as deep as you'd hope. Many critical drugs have supply chains so lean, so stretched, that even a 2 or 3 day disruption, not a week, not a month, 2 or 3 days, can force hospitals to start rationing. We already live with ongoing drug shortages that most people never hear about. Shortage of IV fluids, shortage of certain antibiotics, shortage of cancer medications. All of that, right now, in a world where shipping hasn't stopped. One day of silence on the ocean wouldn't be a disaster on its own, but it would be a terrifying mirror, showing us exactly how fragile the system really is. The global domino. Let's zoom out, because this isn't just about your grocery store or your medicine cabinet. It's about entire economies. Some countries are more vulnerable than others, and the difference is stark. Island nations like Japan, the UK, Singapore, they import almost everything. Japan imports over 60% of its food. Singapore imports over 90% of it. One day of shipping silence for them isn't an inconvenience. It's an alarm bell. For developing nations who rely on food imports to feed their populations, even a one-day disruption sends shockwaves through already fragile systems. Meanwhile, the shipping industry itself would take weeks to recover. Even from a single day, you can't just press play and expect 50,000 ships to return to their exact positions in the global supply chain. Port schedules are disrupted. Contracts are broken. Cargo spoils. Ships are out of position. The catch-up would take days, maybe weeks. And businesses would absorb billions in losses. In 2021, one ship, got stuck in the Suez Canal for 6 days. Just one ship in one canal. It cost the global economy an estimated $10 billion per day. Now multiply that by 50,000 ships. For an entire day, the number stops feeling real. So, what happens if global shipping stops for one day? The honest answer is probably not the apocalypse. Not on day one, but the ripples would be real. The fear would be real. The fragility it reveals, very, very real. We live in a world where a single container ship blocking a canal makes headlines for a week because people suddenly realized that their world runs on a thread. A thread made of steel hulls and diesel engines and thousands of sailors who most of us will never meet. Next time you open a package, next time you fill your tank, next time you pick up a bottle of medicine. Just for a second, think about the journey it took to get to you, across oceans, through storms, guided by people working in the middle of the night, far from home. The ships keep moving. And because they do, so does the world. If this changed how you see the world, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because we ask the questions most people walk past every single day without ever stopping to wonder.